You don't need ads to grow an e-commerce business. That's a big call, I know, but hear me out. This brand here generated $247,000 of extra revenue in their business using this strategy. They're not inside their Meta account 5 times a day. They're not burning cash testing different creatives and waiting for that winning ad to pop up. It's just a simple strategy that runs in the background quietly and brings in money on autopilot. And the best part about it is that you've got everything at your disposal right now to set it up. Let's just double click on these numbers for a sec. So over the last 6 months, this business generated $467,000. $274,000 of that came from this strategy. That is 58% of their total revenue. If we haven't met, I'm Brendan. I've been behind the scenes scaling e-commerce revenues to 7 and 8 figures, both in my stores and some pretty big brands. Everything I share here is based on what we actually do. It's not theory. And I'm breaking it down and sharing it with you so you can implement it into your own businesses. So what is this magical strategy that brings in more than 50% of revenue for e-commerce stores? It's email marketing. Now I know it's not cool, it's not flashy, and it's not brand new, but hey, when it is set up correctly with the right platform, this thing absolutely prints cash. You see, most brands have been doing it wrong the whole time. They might send out a monthly newsletter, or they'll only send emails when they're on sale or sales are a little bit slow. But actually, your email is your community. Not only that, it's your most profitable, high converting, consistent channel that you have control of. Why? Because the customer has opted in to hear from you. They want to know more about you. They want to be part of your community. They want to hear from who you are and what you have to offer. And once you set it up, it keeps making you money every single day. So let me break it down into 4 simple steps and what you need to do now. Now, step number 1 before you do anything else is you need to choose the right platform. We're going to use Klaviyo all the way through this tutorial today. And the reason we use Klaviyo, it's an e-commerce first email marketing platform. Now there's a lot of platforms out there, but they don't think about e-commerce first. They just want to be everything to everyone, where Klaviyo has niched down and all they want to do is generate revenue or business. They help you with automations, campaigns, templates. They've even got AI built in. It's our choice that we go to and want to generate revenue numbers like this. And the cool thing is it plugs directly into Shopify and it just works seamlessly. So before you do anything else, I've chucked the link to Klaviyo below. So go and install that and then you can move on to step number 2. Now this is a little bit of an oxymoron. In this step, we don't want to ask for the sale. You see, the main reason that most brands fail at email marketing is they're always asking their subscribers to buy stuff from them. They're never actually giving them anything of value. They're not creating that reason for someone to buy. So brands that do really well are constantly giving valuable information and only occasionally asking for something. Whereas the brands that don't work is all they're doing is asking. And the only things that work are sales because they haven't built a reputation with that brand. Now what we do is we use a 4-part content framework that's really easy to execute, which means we can send out valuable emails that convert. The framework that we use is called the EETS framework. It stands for Engage, Educate, Trust, and then Sell. So this here is the framework that we give the members of our e-commerce academy. But I'll give you some ideas. From an Engage perspective, these are the types of emails that you could send. You could send a founder story, a behind the scenes, pack with me, staff spotlight, company culture, trends, duets, lives, blog posts, history, everything that you can imagine. These are emails that engage with your subscribers. And when it comes to education, this is where you show that you know everything there is about this industry. You can show them how to use the product, how it works, how it's made, products that do this, that do that. You could do recipes, styling tips, workouts, depending on your category. You could do the 5 reasons why these are great products. You could do niche specific education, why you need, the benefits. As you can see, there's so many different educational angles you can go on. And none of these emails were actually asking them for anything. Now, what about trust emails? These are the ones where other people are saying the same things as you that validates what you say is true. So some of these emails could be implementing product reviews, company reviews, whether you're in the media, whether you've been seen on anyone's famous, influencers, awards, certifications. I think you get the idea. What are some third-party places that say your products are as good as you say they are? Now, if you send those emails out, you now have the right to ask for the sale. And this is where the sell emails comes in. So in your sell emails, they don't always need to be discount driven. It could be new product alerts. It could be a product feature. It could be a collection feature. You could then do flash sales, category sales, buy one, get one, etc. Give them a reason to buy from you. Now, if you follow this content framework, you're going to give that much value that when you actually do ask them to buy your thing, they're just going to say yes. Now, hear what you're saying. You're saying, Brendan, this is a lot of work. I don't have time for this. How am I going to do this? Well, that's where step number 3 comes in. And that is to leverage templates. Let me tell you a little story about when we worked in big brands. Now, when we wanted to get an email out, what we'd have to do was we'd have to brief our designer to design the email. It might take him or her 3, 4, 5 hours to design this email. It was beautiful. Then it would go to the copywriter who would write the copy and insert it in the email. Then we'd have to give that to the developer to cut it up so we could paste it into our email platform. It then needed to be sent out to our marketing manager, who had to approve it and give the green light for it to be sent. Now, this would take anywhere between 15 to 20 hours of real work, but it would actually take weeks for the approval process to happen. So from the idea to actual send, it could take up to 2 weeks. Now, that didn't only cost us money, but it cost us time. So we flipped the lid and we turned it into a template model. We come with 4 super simple templates, and all we needed to do was interchange the graphic and the text, and we could get the email out. That took us from 15 hours of emails to say 1 to 2 hours of design, press play, and we're off. It was a game changer, and it printed money. We got even better results in the highly beautiful crafted emails and the ones that took a lot of time as we did with the templates. Let me show you how it works. If you head into your Klaviyo account, you're going to see something here which is called templates. Now, we just think about 4 templates that are super simple, and we can interchange them, and they can be used for pretty much any type of email. So the first template we have is our brand and story or educate one, similar to what we had in our content pillars. These are the same ones we give to our members inside our e-commerce academy, and all they do is they go in here, they click edit template. This is all done within Klaviyo. And they can just go through and just change all the elements as they need them. They can replace their logos, they can replace their images, they can replace the text and everything like that. And it's just a rinse and repeat. So every time you want to send an email, all you're doing is interchanging these elements. Let me show you some of the other templates that we have. That was the brand story one we just saw. We've got the social proof and UGC one. If we click into that, it's a slightly different layout, but the same process. So in here, you would just do the same thing. You change the logo, you would change the images, but you can see it's basically a drag and drop scenario. You could even save this as its own template so that you don't have to go in and change a logo every time. And that's what we do in ours. We've got the same one for a social campaign. We've got the same one for promotional events. And we've got the same one here for the product campaign. So what you can do is you can go in and edit these, and then you can save them as your own template. And you can see we've started saving our own templates here. And the great thing about that is you can just copy and paste a campaign, you just change the images, you change the text in it, and you can shoot it out that day. So no more taking 3 to 5 hours to get a campaign out there. You can do it in 30 minutes, which means you can send more emails with better content, better value, getting better results. Now let's move on to the 4th, and I think the most important step in this entire strategy, and that's segmentation. You see, too many brand owners spray and pray when they do their email marketing. What I mean by that is they spray their entire list and pray that someone actually buys from them. That's not a great strategy. What we want to do is we want to make sure we're sending the right email to the right person at the right time. We want to make it feel personal. We want to have it engaging. We want people to actually open the email. And that's not just to keep our subscribers happy, but it's also to keep the email platforms happy. You see, when they see that people are opening and clicking your emails, they're more likely to make sure the email goes into that person's inbox and not into spam. Let me take you through some core segments that you need to know about and how you can set them up in Klaviyo. First of all, I'm just going to head over to our campus, and we're going to head over and grab the segment list that we give our students. So I'm going to head into our email engine room, and we have a section in here about segments, this masterclass, segments that sell, and I'm just going to grab this workbook. Okay, so within this workbook, we've got this section here, which is segments that sell. And we like to break it up into 2 sections. One is core segments and advanced segments. Now, if you're just starting out, you're probably only going to want to have core segments. So if we zoom in here, these are the core segments that we want to send to. The first one is our engaged segments. That's sending to people who have clicked or opened our emails in the last 60, 120, or 180 days. Then we want to separate out people who don't engage because we might want to send them a different sort of email. We then want to identify who our VIPs are, so the people that we want to treat a little bit more special. Then we might want to send out emails to people that have shown certain behaviors, like have they purchased something? Have they browsed something more than once? Now, if we want to do SMS, we can put them into an SMS segment, and we can even put in a segment of people that don't open. And if we want to get a little bit more advanced, these are the sort of segments that you can send. People who haven't purchased yet. We could send to people based on their profile or the demographics. We could send to one-time buyers. We could send to, say, predicted VIP, and this is a great feature in Klaviyo. They can predict when someone's likely to buy. Or we can send it based on where they live. Let's jump into Klaviyo now, and I'll show you how to set this up. So in Klaviyo, we've got this list and segments, and this is where AI is going to get really cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to click create new, and we're going to click create segment. We're going to create one of the segments that we have in our simple segment builder. So we'll go back to that, and let's do this one here, which is engage in the last, let's do 120 days. So we go to Klaviyo. We'll type in engaged 120 days. This is just the title. And in here, we can actually just explain what we want to do. Create a segment of engaged profiles within the last 120 days. Now what's happening here is it's using the AI to build out this segment for us. You can see that it's done the conditional logic, what someone has done or not done, and it's put all the engaged signals in there. It's done everything there in the last 120 days, and that looks good. So we just click create segment. And it's then gone and created that segment for us. So we can basically then go through our segment setup and create all these core segments in here and all these advanced segments in here. So then we know who we're sending to, what we're going to send them, how regularly we're going to send it, what platform we're going to use. And if you can nail all those things and do it right using Klaviyo, you're going to be able to print money on autopilot without stressing whether or not your ad account is going to get suspended or whether the next ad's going to tank, anything like that. You can just have money coming in while you sleep. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I've got a few other videos here that are just about email marketing and growing e-commerce stores that I think you're going to love.